How did Hector Bellerin go from one of the best young prospects in Arsenal's history to being shipped around from team to team at only 28 years old? This is the rise and fall of Hector Bellerin. The journey starts off at Barcelona for a young Hector, who was playing for the infamous La Masia Academy at just 8 years old. Even at such an early age, the talent was clear as day, with his speed and technical ability being far ahead of his peers. At 16 years old, young Hector started to grab the attention of the top European clubs, with the likes of Arsenal, Bayern, and Juventus all sniffing around. But the choice was easy for the young Spaniard, who valued game time and a clear first-team pathway at the top of his priority list. And so in 2011, this led him to choosing Arsenal, who promised him both. When asked about his transfer, Bellerin said, "I was at home and my father called me to say Arsenal had been on the phone. We decided to go there to see how things are. I hadn't made up my mind because I've been at Barcelona all my life, so it was very difficult. But after evaluating things, I decided to join Arsenal. When you want to be a professional, you have to look to make your way. And I believe the right path for me was to choose Arsenal. We met Mr. Wenger and it went so well. It was all too much for me, but I paid full attention to everything he said. When there is a team that guarantees you can play in the first team and above all in the Premier League, then it is very difficult to say no. The thought of playing in the Premier League and being under the guidance of one of the greatest managers of all time in Arsene Wenger was just too good of an opportunity to decline. And with Cesc Fabregas paving the way for academy players to take risks in Europe, it was up to Hector to show why he deserved to be in the first team. This leads us to 2012, where Hector had his first inclusion in the Arsenal squad, remaining unused in their League Cup third round win against Coventry City. And in the following year, on the 25th of September, he made his competitive debut against West Brom Albion, coming on in the 95th minute as a substitute in a penalty shootout victory. And just as things started to click for Hector, 2 months later he was loaned out to Championship side Watford and made his competitive debut against Yeovil Town 8 days after. But unfortunately for him, it just wasn't the best of loans, which caused Arsenal to recall him just 2 months later. The breakthrough. Following injuries to Matteo Debuchy and Callum Chambers, Bellerin made his Champions League debut in 2014 in a 2-0 defeat away to Borussia Dortmund. And from there, Hector took his chance and ran with it, scoring his first goal for Arsenal just a couple months later on the 1st of February 2015 in a 5-0 win against Aston Villa, and added a second on the 4th of April to open a 4-1 win over Liverpool. With such amazing performances, Bellerin was awarded with a start in the 2015 FA Cup final on the 30th of May, helping the team keep a clean sheet in a 4-0 win over Aston Villa, the up and up. This amazing form led to Bellerin putting pen to paper on a new long-term deal before the 2015-16 season. Hector then started the season off brilliantly with a victory over London rivals Chelsea in the 2015 Community Shield. And saying Bellerin had an amazing season that year is a complete understatement. With his insanely quick speed, Bellerin was a problem for all Premier League forwards. These amazing performances led to him being the only Arsenal player listed in the PFA Team of the Season, as well as coming in 3rd place in Arsenal's Player of the Season voting.
Your man in the match today?
Oh, Hector Bellerin. Oh, it's quality. The quality. He's putting in last-ditch tackles. That chance in the first half for Gomes. Without Bellerin, he scored. We're 1-0 down. But he's run, pace, through, last-ditch tackle. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And even caught the attention of Pep Guardiola, who was a huge admirer of the 21-year-old, with a source saying Guardiola wanted a fullback with searing pace and attacking instincts, somebody to build the play out from the back. And he saw no better man than Hector Bellerin of Arsenal. When Arsenal caught wind of this, they were quick to shut down all rumors, giving Bellerin a new contract valued at £115,000 a week, running until the summer of 2022.
So I just wanted to say that I just signed my new deal with the club.
And just like that, in a few years, Hector Bellerin went from a young prospect in Barcelona's academy to one of the best fullbacks in the world. But all good stories must come to an end. And in the following 3 seasons, Hector Bellerin gradually got worse and worse. Although Bellerin was having very inconsistent form, he still managed to help Arsenal in their cup final victories, helping them win the 2016-17 FA Cup as well as the 2017 Community Shield, both to Chelsea. What's up with this brother and playing against Chelsea? At this point, fans were starting to get annoyed with Bellerin for his poor crossing and defending skills, and this even caused a little feud between the two parties.
What do you make of Arsenal Fan TV? And
And do any players watch it, or are you told not to watch it?
I don't think there's players that actually just go on the internet just so they're gonna watch Arsenal Fan TV. It does sometimes pop up in your timeline. So, I mean, I've seen it sometimes. So I have friends that they've been like, "Oh, have you heard about that guy on Arsenal Fan TV?" Like, I think it's so wrong for someone that claims to be a fan and their success is fed of a failure. So how can that be a fan? So I think there's just people hustling, trying to make money their way, which, you know, everyone is entitled to do. But for us players, it doesn't affect us. Listen, if people want to have fun with it, let them have fun. But for us, you know, we just, as I said, when you grow, you just realize what's important for you to listen to and what not to take. You know, if a coach comes to me and tells me you've done something bad, you've done something wrong, I'm going to take that advice. If I hear someone from Arsenal Fan TV saying like, "Oh, this guy needs to do this guy needs to do that," I'm not going to listen to him.
And how can you concede a goal 1 minute before half time, blood? What the fuck is Bellerin doing, blood? I've had enough of this guy now, fam. You run up your mouth, what the fuck are you doing, blood? What are you doing, cuz? You're the worst right back I've seen in my life, fam. In my life, blood. You understand? Man like Lee Dixon. You understand? Bakary Sagna. To this fucking dickhead. Nah, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Fuck off with Wenger. Go with him. Go with him. Go Barcelona. And we get Dembele. Because you are dog shit, rude boy. And you do not deserve to play for this club. You have no passion, no pride, no bollocks.
No, I wouldn't come.
No, Robbie. No,
Listen,
Robbie. No.
Hold on, wait.
What did he do the whole game? What did he do the whole game? What did he do the whole game?
He made a mistake, right?
Pure mistake.
Listen,
the guy
hold
came
on.
across to save his life, yeah? You love to defend Bellerin. Fuck Bellerin. I don't care no more. I don't care no more.
But listen,
I've had enough of this now.
Bellerin missed out of the first 5 weeks of the 18-19 season due to calf problems. During a League Cup game against Chelsea on the 19th of January, he suffered a ruptured ACL in his left knee and was stretched off the pitch in the 70th minute at the Emirates. He was later ruled out for 9 months, missing the remainder of the season and the start of the 1920 season. And just like that, in a few seasons, Bellerin went from being one of the brightest prospects in the world to being a liability on and off the pitch. And despite coming back strong for manager Unai Emery's first campaign, Bellerin just wasn't the same. The pace that he was once widely renowned for just wasn't there. Imagine Alphonso Davies lost his pace, and by the way, not saying he's a bad player, but with that being his main trick, the loss would be extremely noticeable. This led to Bellerin falling down in the pecking order behind Lichtsteiner and Callum Chambers, not the best players to be behind. And much didn't change when Mikel Arteta was appointed as manager either, with Arteta preferring Ainsley Maitland-Niles and even Callum Chambers over him. And when Arsenal signed Benjamin White in the summer of 2021, Hector's time was up at Arsenal. Since he's left, he's played for multiple clubs, starting off with Real Betis, which he played a crucial part in helping them win the Copa del Rey, as well as Barcelona, in which he only made a total of 5 appearances before being shipped out to Sporting Lisbon, for whom he just has 4 appearances in all competitions this season. It's crazy to think how after a few injuries, mismanagement, and being extremely unlucky has caused the downfall of one of the best young talents in recent times. This was the rise and fall of Hector Bellerin. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I truly appreciate it. We're super close to 1K subs, so fingers crossed we get there. And comment below which player we should do next. Till next time, you dirty dogs.